Welcome to the Divine Connection Podcast. I'm your host, Cristina Aroche, and together we are walking the path of discovering your true self and the alignment with your soul. Through these conversations, you will experience a deeper level of connection with yourself and the universe, and most importantly, you will trust in your spiritual journey ahead. Let's begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Divine Connection Podcast. I'm really excited for today's episode because I am going to be doing some on-the-spot channeling and answering an audience member's question. And so this is also an opportunity for me to remind you that if you want to receive guidance or are curious about anything, you can always submit your question through the link in the show notes or by going to CristinaAroche.com/ask-Christina. So you can find the link for that below. Now, let's get into the question for today. The question says, "Hello, Cristina. Thank you very much for hosting these questions on your platform and giving us guidance and answers to questions and doubts in a safe environment." And just a quick side note, it is my absolute pleasure. I love receiving these questions from you guys and being able to provide whatever support you need. So I just love them. Keep them coming. Okay, so continuing on with the question. I've seen spirits since I was a little girl and had very little guidance. Today, as I am older, I've learned how to manage this part of my clairs much better. However, at times I see a spirit in my home that is exactly like my daughters when they are actually in another room sleeping, or I hear their voices calling me when I know they're not home or they are asleep. What can this be? Thank you in advance for your explanation and clarification. So, first thing that I'll share is that I strongly feel Angel Celeste as the one who's coming forward, and also Archangel Uriel. So these are the two angels that are coming in to support you and provide guidance, and also the ones that you can work with whenever this happens. The most important thing for you to know regarding this experience is that you are sensing the energy of your daughters. And I feel like, especially as a mother, like there's just that connection between a mother and her child, or a parent and their child. So for you, there's this deep soul level connection, soul level bond. And so because of that, you are sensing and are aware of their energy. And specifically, I feel like it's the presence of their soul, or an aspect of their soul, that is coming through for you to be aware of. Now, if we were in a session, I would ask you, what do you do when you see or hear this spirit that comes through? Obviously, we're not in a session right now, so that would be just something for you to think about. Like, is it just an observation and then you continue on, or do you ever feel guided to do something? With Angel Celeste and Archangel Uriel coming forward, what they are suggesting is for you to take this next kind of step with regards to when you sense this, their spirits coming through, that you can ask what it needs. Sometimes it is a long distance, like sending of love, or a feeling of nurturing, or comfort, or a feeling of safety. And so that's one part, like what you mentioned. If they are not home, then perhaps it's just a longing for their mother's love, which might not even be something that they are consciously feeling. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Maybe it's a subconscious thing, but it's an awareness for you to have, where you know that you can energetically support them and energetically create a space between you, that they will then on some level feel your love and feel your comfort, feel your safety, feel your support. So this is a way in which you can hold space for them, which is funny that this is coming up. Just last week, I believe, was when I have an episode that I talked about holding space. This is another way in which you can do so. So aside from that, the other thing that is coming through from Archangel Uriel specifically is that he's saying that when you are sensing or feeling that spirit, the other thing that you can do is ask what they might need in physical form, meaning that when you do connect with them next time or talk to them or whatever it is, that you then provide or ask the questions. So I have a feeling that you'll be able to receive guidance, like you will be able to channel and receive whatever the guidance is. Perhaps your daughter is feeling nervous about something or anxious about something, and so you can approach it from a space of just being curious, like, hey, how's that going for you? Or maybe sharing a personal story of your own that kind of relates or parallels to what she might be experiencing, which then helps her to open up more to you. So there's these different ways in which you can receive whatever information that is wanting to come through for you, that you can then utilize to support your daughters in your everyday life. So those are the two main things that Archangel Uriel and Angel Celeste are bringing forward with regards to this entire process. Now, with Angel Celeste, the other message that she's bringing through for you is the fact that understanding that this whole experience is showing you that you do have these abilities and that this is a natural part of who you are. And so this is also an opportunity for you to explore even further if you are interested and if this is something that you feel called towards, but just understanding and seeing how with your abilities, your clairs, and being able to uh, be open to these divine synchronicities or messages, spirits coming through, to know what part you play and being able to support the collective on some level, or being able to support the divine and knowing your role, how the divine desires to move through you to be able to guide, support, hold space, whatever the case is. I feel like this is also a bigger thing aside from the specific situation that we're talking about right now. So those are the things that are coming through. So with Angel Celeste, she's the one who's helping you to explore on a deeper level what this might look like or what this might mean on that bigger picture level, we'll call it, from a bigger, higher perspective, that higher vision. And then from there, being able to take whatever appropriate next steps, being able to show up in a bigger capacity, perhaps, or whatever else might be guided for you to be able to take those next steps. So this feels really exciting and feels really powerful. And if you feel called to let me know any follow-ups around what comes up, I appreciate it. I always love when people share with me their experiences, what unfolds for them after they follow through with the guidance, all things like that. So feel free to reach out, let me know what happens and how this continues to unfold for you. So I know this was a very specific question, but speaking to everyone today, listening in on this, perhaps having a similar experience, perhaps something here resonated with you where you're like, oh, I can see how this might reflect something in my own personal situation or my own experience. I want to invite everyone who's tuning in to explore and see where you might be guided to show up in a way to hold space for other people or to bring through divine messages, divine healing, to ask questions, those kinds of things, because it's important to remember that wherever we're placed, wherever we're guided, wherever we're positioned, it's all on purpose. The divine is placing you with the people, with the situations, wherever you are on purpose, so that you can show up more fully as your true self, so that you can learn, you can heal, you can grow, and just be more confident in who you are and however that's meant to show up in the world. So I really love this. I love this question. I love that we are all on this journey together. So I would love to hear from you in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know how this question, this topic resonated with you. Let me know any aha moments that came through, what you felt as I guided our audience member through this question today. And then for those of you who are wanting to expand in terms of your ability to bring through healing, to bring through guidance, to understand yourself on a deeper level in terms of how the divine desires to work through you and desires to bring through healing frequencies in your everyday life as you hold space for other people, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your community as a whole, then I invite you to join me inside of my course, the Angelic Healing System, and learn my process and my way of bringing through angelic healing frequencies and understand how it applies to you based on your healer archetype. So all the details for that are found in the show notes below this episode, and I cannot wait to welcome you in. So if you enjoyed this episode, if you're watching me on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. If you're not watching me on YouTube, make sure to rate this show, rate the podcast, and otherwise, share this with your friends, share this with your family if this was helpful for you, or if you know someone who maybe needs to submit a question, let them know. And I'm happy to answer it on the podcast. And otherwise, that is it for today. I'm sending you so much love and so many angel blessings, and I will see you again very soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And if you want to learn more about the Divine Connection podcast, you can go to CristinaAroche.com/podcast and learn about how you can be featured on the show.